Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Editor UK. My name is Michael, and as always we bring you the very latest in price, hype and speculation in the wonderful world of crypto assets. Now, in today's episode, we'll be bringing you the Bitcoin and crypto online toolkit that you should all have. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, please remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And without any further ado, let's jump straight in right after this. All right, let's start by first looking at the current price in the cryptocurrency market. You can see that here Bitcoin is currently, date of recording being the 19th of April, $7,227 US. So you can see from the charts here that it is on a somewhat of a steady price range. So it's been at around the $7,000 US price mark for the past week, give or take. So you're looking at 6,900, 7,200 max. It's been around that same kind of price for the last week. So I just wanted to take you through first the coin market cap. Of course, we've looked at this extensively. I presented a whole video on this one, so make sure to go back, look through my previous videos, and to catch up on coin market cap and what it can do. However, essentially this is your price bible with lots of useful stats, as I mentioned in the previous video. Also, another place to go and get your market prices would be coinpaprika.com. Now here we are on Coin Paprika. So essentially it's very similar to Coin Market Cap that we had on the other page there. However, the main difference is just the user interface. Again, it's a useful tool for looking at price action. And again, like I said, very similar. You'll see here that you can look at all-time highs, and it's presented in a nice little table here, which is perhaps a bit more useful than Coin Market Cap in the way that they've done theirs. So you've got the all-time highs for Bitcoin here, Ethereum, XRP, all in one graph here. And again, I think it's just a bit more tidier, I suppose, than Coin Market Cap. But you will find that there is sometimes a slight difference in the reporting of the price in Coin Paprika in Coin Market Cap, and there is another one, another market cap which I want to show you, which is CoinGecko. With CoinGecko, this is CoinGecko here. So you can see even with the prices as I've reported them, a slight difference there. So Bitcoin here in CoinGecko is $100 less than it was on Coin Market Cap. So again, these are all tools just to check the prices and different stats, but you will find that there will be slight variations in the price there. But nonetheless, I want to take you through those. Now moving on to another website, another essential tool which should all cryptocurrency enthusiasts should keep in their toolkit, and this is this website. It's called the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Okay, I will be leaving a link in the description for all the websites and how to find out exactly how to find them. But with this one, this website, it's an indicator that analyzes the buyer trend in the crypto assets market. Okay, it is useful because as a trader, the general rule is to buy low and to sell high, and the usual sentiment is usually when the market is fearful or scared, that's the time to be buying. So essentially what we have today in the current climate and in the current pandemic environment, this has seen most asset types take a huge nosedive, and there's been a huge sell-off in the stocks market, in the forex markets, which I've mentioned previously. Instead of following the herd and following the herd of sheep and selling off any assets you may have, now is a time I would recommend to stay strong, hold on to any assets you may have, even if they've taken a significant knock in the price. It's worth holding on to those assets in the face of adversity. And if you have any spare money lying around, it is worth looking at buying stocks and assets on the cheap, as the prices will go up again inevitably, but at this very moment in time you will see that the general sentiment in the market is one of fear, and you can see here this is the actual the index reads extreme fear at 16. So the way it reads is, okay, 0 is, you know, extremely fearful, 16 is extreme fear, and the green, if you're 100%, that will be extreme greed. So the historical values are put down here, so you can see now it's at 16, yesterday was at 18, last week was at 11, last month it was at 10. So you can see that, like we say, just generally the general sentiment in the crypto asset market is of extreme fear, and this no doubt relates to the recent events that have taken place with the pandemic, which has seen prices of all assets take a massive nosedive. And as you can see here, 100 being the greed. So I'm looking historically here. This is the history of crypto fear and greed over time. So historically we had a high here on June 27th 2019, and I remember that's when I think the price of Bitcoin saw a massive rally up to £14,000. So there was a greed index of 92. So that's opposed to where we sit today. So on April 19th we've got a fear index reading of 16. So you can see that generally people get greedy, and they tend to buy in when, you know, it's generally a good time in the markets and prices are soaring and prices are high. However, people get really fearful in uncertain times and uncertain financial times and sell off, and this leads to massive fear in the market. But again, the sentiment is to buy when there is fear. So scared money doesn't make no money. So just remember that in future, and just if you have anything on the side, it's worth looking into the emerging markets in the stocks, some tech stocks as well. I may well make a video into which stocks should be bought, because some have come down significantly in price, and these are well-renowned stocks, and it's well worth putting some money back into these to realize a return in the future, if not a dividend income. So we'll be now moving on to of Bitcoin to GBP, an exchange. So all you will do is simply go to Google, you type in Bitcoin to GBP exchange, and the result will be this. Okay, and now I'm using GBP, but of course, no matter where you're reading this from across the world, or you're watching this from across the world, you could put USD, you could put AUD, Australian dollars, NZD, New Zealand dollars. However, again, for the purpose of this video, I'll be putting GBP in. So as it stands now, 1 Bitcoin equals £5,728. Okay, so let me put in here just so you know it's on live. So again, it's just changed that. So 1 Bitcoin is 5728. Now the reason why I had in here 0.28, and I'll put it back to 0.28, is 0.28 of a Bitcoin is said to be how much you need to own of one single Bitcoin to put you in the top 1% owners in the world of this asset. Well, this is based on the fact that the supply of the Bitcoin is a finite amount of $21 million worth. So if you have 0.28, if you hold 0.28 worth of Bitcoin, that in money terms, in fiat terms, is £1,603, or to round it up, £1,604. That being the case, that would mean that you'd be in the top 1% of owners if you just hold just 0.28 of a Bitcoin. So not even half, not 0.5, not 0.75, just 0.28. That will put you in the top 1%. And again, if you were buying this amount of Bitcoin today, and holding this amount over a significant period of time, it potentially could realize you or make you a millionaire. Now, obviously, in this current day and age, it's more difficult to do than it was, say, for example, in 2013. However, if you had this amount of Bitcoin at £1,603, to get to £1 million, that would see a percentage increase of 62,283%. So again, these are big numbers I'm talking here, and outlandish percentage increases. But in the wonderful world of cryptocurrency, and in the current financial climate that we do face now, and in the future, looking at how digital assets and will be adopted and taken into consideration, this is something that may well happen within the next 5 to 10 years. So, for example, that £1,000 could turn you into a millionaire within the next 10 years. However, that is to say, even if you are a millionaire in the next 10 years, you may not have the same buying power that a millionaire has today, purely because inflation and the cost of living would increase. So therefore, your buying power will be less. So a millionaire now is not necessarily what a millionaire will be in 10 years. But this is something to keep your eye on, based on the fact that if you own 0.28% of the Bitcoin. So the final tool in our toolkit to look at of our websites is Blocktivity. Now, Blocktivity, I will read you the introduction here. It's essentially, instead of looking at the blockchain or crypto asset through its market cap, which is usually done by going to CoinMarketCap, CoinPaprika, or CoinGecko. Another way to really gauge the real value of a coin or a crypto asset or part of its blockchain is through its current use on the blockchain. So let me just read this part of the website out. Here, essentially, what it says is, another way closer to the raw value is observing the activity on the blockchain. Lots of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and hype are responsible for misplaced capital in the cryptocurrency space. Here, we are observing which project is actually being used by people, which is, in our opinion, the best predictive indicator of value you can have. So again, what Blocktivity is doing here is it's taking out all the opinions, the speculation, and all the hype, all the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, the FOMO, fear of missing out. And what it's doing is it's essentially looking at the asset based on its usability. So essentially what it's saying, its usability should be what its store of value is. And looking at this list here, strange to see that Bitcoin comes up at number 7 here. Bitcoin comes up at number 7 for usability of its blockchain, and the number 1 asset is EOS, which is another crypto asset which is available. And if I take you back to to CoinMarketCap here, you will see that EOS is number 9 on the list, and it's currently worth $2.68. As opposed to Bitcoin, which is worth $7,000. So you can see there the usability argument for EOS would rank it at number 1 currently, and Bitcoin would be at number 7. So again, this is something again to take a note of, and all the websites are presented today. I'll leave a link in the description of the video, but you should use these as part of your toolkit or bookmark these pages for websites, because these will be your go-tos when you're trying to decipher certain things, or if you're buying some Bitcoin, or essentially if you want to know what's happening in the market and what your next move will be. It's always essential to look at these tools and resources online, and help to make your mind up before stepping forward and moving on into any ventures. So again, it was a quick video today just to show you essential online Bitcoin and crypto toolkit for you to use. Until next time, see you soon.